Mic checker. I think I got everything right this time. But you performing that night, the show ain't about you. It is not about you. The show ain't nothing about you. Absorb that. Take that. Let's call this segment. That one time I talked about if you're not the headliner, the show ain't about you. And I'm going to give you an example. Yeah, let me get on there. There's a comedy club called Laughs. There used to be a comedy club called Laughs in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The owner name used to be Russ Rivas. So I told that story between me and Russ already. And Russ was a stickler of the rules. Now, when he is a comic too. And the funny thing about it is he followed none of these rules he had at his club if he was touring. Now he worked at the club and did Vegas and toured at the same time when he had time or whatever. But he was a different person when he was a comic than he is as a club owner, which kind of fucking sucks. But anyway, as a club owner, he didn't play. That's why his shit was so successful and nights were packed out all the time. And I respected that. He had his rules, regulations, how you get in. He was fair. He started booking me. I thought he was fair. You hear the stories of how he was a dick, this, that, and the third, and that shit was true. But it's still a comedy club, and if you meet this criteria, you can perform at my club. I need you, you need me, and that's how he treated it. But he was a little dictatorial still, and that's how we got into it, but that's not what the story is about. So there was a comic that went over his time. And I don't even think it was that much time, but it doesn't matter. If you go over 10 seconds, ran into other people's time. The cat went over in his time. Russ took this nigga outside. I think after the show or after his set, took this nigga outside and walked in the parking lot and then turned around, looking at the building, looking at the sign of the club, and asked him, "What's that sign say?" And he read the sign, last blah, blah, blah. Who was it? Say I'm the headliner. Read it off the headliner's name. Is your name up there? He was like, nah. Walk back in there. He didn't fire him, I don't think. He just let him know. This ain't about you. When the show's about you, then you can, but it ain't about you. When you do time that is not allotted to you, you are saying fuck you to the next act. And then that trickles down to the headliner's time. Now you've taken from the headliner. And the show is about the headliner. Because of your arrogance and you think you could do better than that. That's what be happening. In the beginning, I did it. I didn't go over time. That was the thing that I wasn't trying to do on purpose at all. I did it a couple times. But for the most part, 98% of my career, I can tell you. I want to say 99%. I can tell you the times that I went over my time and it wasn't cool. And I own it. And the big time I did it, it was a total accident. But anyway, it's still a no-no. It's still a no-no because, and the reason why it happens is because of ego. It's because of ego. So for the thing that happened yesterday not to happen, it wouldn't have happened if they didn't have ego. Now, ego don't have to be in the forefront of their mind, and this is why because they fit. It's the understanding. Their ego doesn't allow them to understand right now that the show ain't about them. A lot of times in these younger acts' mind, they hold mission in life is to make the headliner look bad, to show everybody I'm better than this cat. Instead of having the mindset of, I'm gonna go there and do my part to make sure that the show as a whole, these people in the audience, and me as a supporting act make the headliner look as dope as possible so that these people will want to do this again and we'll get invited back and get another paycheck. That's how I think. That's how I think. It ain't about you. So once I figured that out before I even became a headliner, things became a lot easier. It even relieved a lot of pressure. Yeah, I'm not the headliner. The motherfuckers is the headliner. Let them deal with the fact they got to do a 45 minutes or an hour. Let them do that. They got to carry the show. If I suck, you know what I'm saying. Let them deal with that headache of being what the headliner is supposed to be. And then a lot of times, cats get what a headliner is mixed the fuck up with a fucking being a headliner. They get, because they go last, that they're the headliner. I'm talking about non-paid shows, professional shows. We understand what the pecking order is, but you get training from the non-paid shows and the open mics or whatever, and in those trainings, it's being taught that if you go last, you the headliner. I'm a headliner, but I'm also critical of myself. I'm not the headliner that I want, that I know I could be in regards to making motherfuckers pee on themselves. I did a show in Chicago at Showtime when it used to be open, and made a lady go into labor. She laughed so hard. Boom. But that's not every show. That's not every show. So my batting average for making motherfuckers give birth is a little low right now. But I'm effective. People come away satisfied, and I get invited back for the most part. But we move the bullshit forward by participating in the bullshit, and don't want to call it bullshit when we smell the bullshit, even though it smell and tastes like the bullshit. Yeah, let me get on there.